I'm Jonathan. We are here at WPP Stream USA, first WPP Stream USA ever. And I'm sitting with Jim Bankoff, CEO of Vox Media. Vox is a modern media company that has a ton of different digital properties like Eater, The Verge, SB Nation. Jim, wanted to ask you, what are you seeing in the conversations you're having at Stream so far? Is there anything popping that's interesting?
Well, there's a lot of things that people watching this would expect. Great conversations around virtual reality, interesting conversations around artificial intelligence, which are really fascinating and scary at the same time. But you're catching us right now a week after the US elections, of course, and so can't help but talk about that and a lot of the implications for what it means for marketers, what it means for media creators, what it means in newsrooms. And I think each of those conversations that I've heard, there probably aren't a whole lot of answers to those questions, but a lot of conversation focusing on how we can build empathy, how we can communicate with one another, how we can communicate with people with different points of view, sometimes points of view that we might find abhorrent, but how do we still communicate with one another? How do we find trust and common ground? And there's a lot of professional communicators at Stream, a lot of professional storytellers, and so it's our job to try to help figure out how to bridge that communication and how to do it the right way, how to do it in a way that's respectful of the values that we share and values that other people have as well.
It's definitely a hot topic, and you did reference the different point of views from this kind of macro landscape from a political perspective. But also at Vox, there's lots of different point of views, right? With the different brands, as I said, Verge, Eater, so on and so forth. And then within each of those brands, there's sub brands. How do you kind of figure out the strategy of what to focus in on and then what just to put to the side and not look at?
Yeah, well, Vox Media, thank you for naming some of them, whether it's Eater, whether it's SB Nation, whether it's The Verge or Recode, we look at two things. We look, is there consumer interest, and where is there consumer interest? That's one thing. And then the second thing, is there talent and creativity, someone with a perspective, a point of view? We actually named the company Vox because it's about voice. And without the voice, you're not going to be able to deliver the message. And digital media in particular requires a strong voice to break through, to be relevant, to be interactive at times. In our case, it's voices like Kara Swisher, who really knows the world of tech better than anyone. She's here at the conference. Other voices that are of almost celebrity status of people like Ezra Klein in the world of politics and policy, but there are hundreds of those people across our portfolio. A woman named Liz Plank, who's really strong, for instance, on social media and Snapchat in particular, talking about important policy issues. So part of how we answer that question is there a need, and is there a person who can deliver and now increasingly deliver it on very specific platforms. There are certain people who might be really good at understanding what works on Snapchat and audiences that want things on Instagram. And so we try to match talent with opportunity.
And Vox it's a for-profit company, obviously.
Yes,
so brands are your friends, advertisers are your friends and your allies. So how do you manage to maintain editorial integrity when there are brands who you need to service at the same time? It's the vice question, I suppose. How do you maintain that authenticity, but also need to an extent pander to the brands who pay the bills?
Well, it's not that difficult for us because we're pretty clear about what we can do and what we can't do, and we can never do anything that jeopardizes the trust in our audience. And there are areas where that should be a concern, and areas where it shouldn't be. So, for instance, on The Verge, you'll never see us having our editors work with device manufacturers or anything close to it. And we're very clear about that sort of thing. What we're able to do at Vox Media is not so much say, hey, this editor is going to try to influence the audience in a way that is like unethical in any way. That would be silly for us. It would also be silly for the brands. It would destroy their trust as much as it would destroy ours. So what we do instead is lend our capabilities as storytellers, lend our capabilities of practitioners of using data and technology to make better stories that find their audiences in the right way. And in doing that, we steer clear of conflict. There are times where we can use our expertise in a given market. So say in technology, we know what's going to resonate with our audiences. We know what's going to resonate with other audiences. And that expertise we can lend to make sure that when we tell a story, it is done in a way that is authentic and is done in a way, but always transparent, always when there is a marketer involved in the creation of the content, our audience is going to know that.
Final question is on video, right? That's an incredible part of the Vox story to date. And more of the content is obviously going to video in general, but also live. So we'd love to hear what 2017 is looking like from really a live video perspective, because that's what these folks are chatting about a lot.
Yeah, there is a lot of talk of live, and we're excited about. We're partnering with Facebook. We're also partnering with other platforms, whether it's Twitter and other live platforms to do that, and then even partnering with traditional television networks in some cases. Video, generally speaking, for Vox Media in 2017, we will have more interactions. More people will view our video than they will read our text articles. Both are growing. Just video is growing a whole lot more. So our brands we build our brands increasingly through video storytelling. We hired a new executive to lead the efforts for us, named Gavin Purcell. We're excited to have him on board. He's working for our publisher, Melissa Bells, and we're hiring a lot of really talented people. For us, it's not just about cranking out video, though, and it's not just about seeing how high the view counts can get. They are getting higher, but they're doing it in service to brand building our brands, building our partner brands. When we work with marketers, we have a unit of the company called Vox Creative that applies our know-how to help brands tell their stories through video. And it's the exact same thing that we're doing on our end. So it's 2017, it's the biggest expression of our brands.
Nice. Well, you may be able to hear the music in the background, so it's probably time we wrap.
Let's go. Sounds like time for a drink.
Good to chat.
Good to chat.